The जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. Prabhuji is having some other services, so will not have class. We'll have Prabhupada purpose today directly. So here, important thing is Brahma's instructions to Prithu Maharaj. So here Brahma is coming, and because Indra is trying to create, when the priest and all others saw Maharaj Prithu very angry and prepared to kill Indra, they requested him, "No, we will do it for you." So when they started chanting the mantras and all, so my dear Vidala, after giving the king this advice, the priest who had been engaged in performing the sacrifice, engaged in performing the sacrifice, called for Indra, the king of heaven, in a mood of great anger. And when they were just ready to put the oblations in fire, Lord Brahma appeared on the scene and forbade them to start the sacrifice. So Brahma stops here. So now these instructions are very important, which are coming from Brahma, because he is trying to uh, help Prithu Maharaj to cooperate with Indra. So it looks little unfair that why I should cooperate. It is done by Indra and here he is cooperating. So, so this is a very important instruction and it is helpful for everyone. So first thing he says is Lord Brahma addressed them thus, "My dear sacrificial performers, you cannot kill Indra, the king of heaven. It is not your duty. You should know that Indra is as good as Supreme Lord. Indeed, he is one of the most powerful assistants of Supreme Lord. You are trying to satisfy all demigods by the performance of Yajna, but you should know that all the demigods are but part and parcels of Indra, the king of heaven. How then can you kill him in great sacrifice?" So the first reason he gives is he is as good as Supreme Lord. And then he says that we have to, this is very important, to satisfy Lord, we have to not offend anyone. So, so if we are offending somebody and we want to serve the Lord, then Lord will not be pleased. So here, that's the reason. Actually, another way on Vedic sacrifices, we have to be grateful to everyone also. Grateful to all superiors. So here it comes demigods. So they are supplying all these things. They are in charge of it. We should be grateful to them. We need not worship them and all. In our case, but in Vedic times, they want this is compulsory that you have to, you are trying to satisfy all the demigods by performance of yajnas. This is the system that was there. That means it's a gratitude. Devan bhavayate, devan bhavayantu, parasparam bhavayanta, shreyam paramapsasi. This is what Bhagavad Gita Krishna is telling. So, you, the demigods are supplying all these things. You worship them, you perform sacrifice in return to them. They will be pleased and they will supply. So, this is the mutual cycle that goes on. Actually, this is the way to be happy in material world, to have the gratitude, and that's why we have Pancha Mahayajna for Grihasthas. It's a principle of gratitude. So that much is sufficient to live happily in this material world. But you should know that all these demigods are but a part and parcel of Indra only. So Indra is like the prime minister and he has all this cabinet under him. But ultimately he is not the one who is doing it, Supreme Lord only. How can you kill him? Now this is the first thing. You said Lord should be satisfied. You don't offend. If you want to satisfy Lord, if you are offending Indra, it won't work. Here, offense to Indra is they are killing only him. So that is what they are planning to do. And second thing is, in general, we should be grateful. But here, even though Indra is doing mistake, but still, the instruction is don't worry so much. Do it. Now he is telling that in order to make trouble and impede the performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice, King Indra has adopted some means that in future will destroy the clear path of religious life. So he says, I draw your attention to this. Now, if you oppose him any further, he will further misuse his power and introduce many irreligious. So this also we discussed. If great people perform mistakes, the effect is very large. And Indra did mistakes. So we have seen some examples of this. Who all did mistakes, and here we have Daksha Yajna. Daksha Yajna. So the curses of Daksha Yajna are still working. So that time they did mistake. Until now we are paying for it. And Indra, he is at Prithu's sacrifice. And Indra also, when he killed Vishwarup, then he got sin. So, then he divided into four parts: earth, woman, and to the trees. So he divided into water. So divided his sin into in four parts, right? So like that, if you see, he did some time wrong, and we are getting payment now. But this is how the responsibility is. One person does mistake, if like prime minister of a country is doing some decisions, the whole country pays for the decisions, right? So this is what happens. We can see even in present scenarios also, if a president of a country or prime minister, the top executive head of the state is doing something good or bad, it has an effect. So here also we see this is effect, and there are many such examples. Like Yudhishthir is there are people who are cursing the whole. Yudhishthir is cursing whole human race, that you will not be able to keep any secret, like that. So we have some examples like that which are indicating that a responsible person in the top he is doing, and like the Brahma, he went behind Vak, and then there was this twilight. So his body, he left his body. His body took a form of twilight, and like that. So there are so many which is still now it is present. So like that we have many such examples which are showing how it is going to affect in future. Good thing also, bad thing also. So, and then he says that let there be only 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaj Prithu. Lord Brahma concluded. Lord Brahma then turned towards Maharaj Prithu and informed him that since he was thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, what was the use in performing more sacrifice? So these instructions he gave to Brahmanas, and then he is talking to Prithu Maharaj. Oh, this is two instructions he gave, that no, let Prithu Maharaj, let him have only this much. And then he informs that now this is a very important instruction of whole fourth canto. Just do bhakti, no need of karma. All these yajnas and all are not needed. Even Brahma is telling. Why? He says, since he is thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, liberation is his path of bhakti. So we discuss also. It is therefore it was not necessary for him to perform the prescribed Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Such ceremonies are known as karma. There is no need for a devotee in the transcendental position to execute them. An ideal king, however, it was King Prutu's duty to perform sacrifices. A king is doing to set an example. And so that's why Brahma is telling a compromise was therefore to be worked out. By the blessings of Lord Brahma, King Prithu would become more famous than King Indra. Thus, Prithu's determination to perform 100 sacrifices was indirectly fulfilled by the blessings of Lord Brahma. So now, we should not be attached to the activity. We should be attached to the pleasure of Lord. So this is also another very important instruction. So here he is telling that don't be attached to your action. To action and reaction also. But try to please Lord. So this is a very important instruction for us. Generally, we have this tendency, even if you take the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, we have the karta and the karma, like no, the doership mentality and the action itself. So both are actually going to affect us, and even the result also. They are going to affect us. But bhakti synthesis. So if you see, we have two extremes. One is to act, one is to renounce action. But ours is we are not, we are acting for somebody else. So this is where the reaction free action comes. If you are acting, there is a reaction. If you don't act, that is also not correct. So what should be done? You should act for, but not for yourself, but for the Supreme Lord. Then people say, okay, I'll act for my wife. My wife is Supreme Lord for me. I'll act for my country. I'll act for my uh, society or whole mankind, humanity, or whatever. Even that also is also causes a reaction. Why? Because it is an expansion of ego. So I will make you understand this point. See, what happens is we may say, no, we are doing selfless work, selfless service. So people say we are doing selfless service to family. I don't think of myself. I think only of family. I think of society. I think of my nation. I think of whole humanity, not one nation. So this United Nation people, they think of whole humanity, not one nation. So now, is it selfless or not? How much is this selfless? See here, no, the point is it is also selfish only. Why? Because the center is I only. This is my country, my society, my nation. So it's an expansion of ego. This is called expansion of ego. So people expand their ego to the family and sacrifice for the family, for the society, for the nation or humanity. So it's an expansion of ego. That means the center is I only. So even this is also selfish. But the center should be Krishna. You are understanding? So until the center comes Krishna, all our activities are actually karma only. So that's why we are getting all these reactions and all the effects and all. We should start making the activity center. It looks very simple. Oh, we may say, oh, I already know this. We know it, but we don't do it because it is not so simple. If we just see whole day activity, I did for Lord only. No, we don't do it because if we are doing for Lord, na, we will not get affected by the result. So, okay, I may say I am doing for Lord. So, if we say you are doing for the Lord, first thing is we will not be attached to no attachment to work, no attachment to the way of doing work. Means I am attached to, say, I am attached to cooking, and even in cooking also, it should be my way, my style, my own way, and then result. Like the outcome of the cooking should be in this way. So first is I am attached to work of cooking, I am attached to the procedure of cooking, and I am attached to result of cooking. So three things are there. If I am doing for somebody else, so to do it for somebody else is the most difficult thing in this world because we don't know how to do it. We have to learn this aspect. So then I'll not be attached to the work also, not the style of work also, not the result also. So then we can say, oh yes, I am, I am free. This is not happening for us. Then we will not have any anxiety. We will not have any tension. We'll be very free, like all our acharyas. They're quite free, They try to do something, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Prabhupada, but ultimately they know because they are not the center. For them, Krishna is the center. If we are getting affected by the uh, result, if we are getting affected by the outcome and other things, and we are in anxiety, then we should know we have to make Krishna as the center. So this is the important understanding. So when Brahma is telling to Prithu, just change it. He said, okay. So this is actually where humility comes. So this is also aspect of humility. When we are told to change service, so humility. So if I am not attached, then I am grateful, I am humble, then only it is possible to change service. Otherwise, we'll say, no, no, no. We'll have so many problems, we have so many complaints, and we are so much upset with all these things. So this is all because of this wrong understanding. And Brahma, now see, immediately is telling, oh, Brahma continued, let there be good fortune to both of you, for you, the king of Indra, and both part and parcel of Supreme Lord. Therefore, you should not be angry with King Indra, who is non different from you. So, Brahma is giving instructions to uh, Prithu Maharaj that no, you don't become angry with Indra. He's a good person. So, he did so much. But Brahma is telling, so the instructions are always given to good people. So they are told, okay, this is uh, you have to uh, perform this. Uh, you have to act in such a way that you see, because it is very easy to become envious. So now here the interesting thing is he is the personality. Indra is the son of Akuti. So he is Yajnamurti only, directly Lord Vishnu. And he is born to Richi and Akuti. Sorry, yeah, Prajapati Richi and no. He is actually Yes, Swayambhu Manu, yeah, he takes from Swayambhu Manu, yeah, Prajapati Rishi and Akuti. So he is Yajnamurti. And in future, if you see that no, here Indra is different. That this Indra who is son of Aditi is in this Manvantara. This is Vaivashvata Manvantara. But this Indra is called Yajnamurti. And he is actually uh, uh, son of Akuti and Prajapati Ruchi. So, and interestingly, if you see Ishopanishad, Ishopanishad uh, actually the sage, that means who recited it is Swayambhu Manu, and his reciting is for Yajnamurti, his own grandson. And interestingly, he adopted his grandson, and he took from Prajapati Rishi and Akuti. He says that you have to give the son to me. So in that way, he adopts. So and here we see the same person, and he is having fighting with Prithu Maharaj. So it's quite complicated. That how the Supreme Lord, and for whom Ishopanishad is sung, and he is behaving in such a way. So we cannot understand. Not a problem. And then the important verse we discussed this is, my dear king, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifice has not been properly executed due to the providential impediments. So kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. So this is, see, it is materialistic thought. So very, very important. So Prabhupada is writing, although there may be sufficient causes for being unhappy, one should avoid concentrating such reversals. Sorry, contracting such reversals. For the more we become implicated in rectifying such reversals, the more we enter into darkest region of material anxiety. So it's not in our hand only. So why we should unnecessarily take the tension? If something in our hand, then it makes sense that okay, I am responsible for it. But it's not in our hand. It's not possible also, many of the things. And morning I got a call from one very famous lady. She's a very big social worker, and she is a very dharmic personality. She has built many temples, and uh, so she has done so much. Very powerful preacher. And she is telling, how the society is becoming bad and all. What these people are doing, the politicians, they are not able to. They're just, you know, uh, they're just some rubber stamps. They're just. Uh, so I told her that no, it is not possible only because why it is not possible? Because the time is Kali Yuga. So they have to go according to the providential impediment. The providence is what deciding. So we cannot do much for the society. Whatever little bit few people we can try to help them. Otherwise it's very difficult. As well as Bhakti Gyan Maharaj telling that he went to South Korea many times to preach. But it is very difficult there because people are so obsessed with work. They work 7 days in a week and then they are so much interested in sense gratification. Very tough to crack. So Lord Brahma continued, stop the performance of the sacrifice, for they have induced Indra to introduce so many religious aspects. You should know very well that even among the demigods, there are many unwanted desires. So this is the point. There are many competitors in ordinary business affairs, and the Karma Kanda chapter of Veda sometimes cause competition and envy amongst karmis. So, uh, Karmis must be envious because he wishes to enjoy material pleasure to their fullest extent. That is the material disease. So why they are envious? Because he wishes to enjoy material pleasure to their fullest extent. That is the reason. There is always competition between karmis either in ordinary business affairs or in performance of yajna. So Lord Brahma's purpose was to end the competition between Indra and Prithu because Maharaj Prithu was a great devotee in incarnation. He was requested to stop the sacrifice. So, and he says that just see how Indra, the king of heaven, was creating a disturbance in the mid-set of sacrifice by stealing the horse sacrifice, stealing the sacrificial horse. These attractive sinful activities he has introduced will be carried out by the people in general. So then we saw that King Prithu, son of Vena, he was a part and parcel in expansion of Lord Vishnu. Due to the mischievous activities of King Vena, religious principles were almost lost. At this opportune moment, you would describe descended as an incarnation for the protection of religious principles. So he is just reminding what is the protector of people in general. Please consider the purpose of your being incarnation of Vishnu. The irreligious principles created by Indra are but mother of so many unwanted religious. Please therefore stop. So, and in that way, the great sage Maitreya continued. When King Prithu was thus advised by the supreme teacher Lord Brahma, he abandoned his eagerness to perform yajna and with great affection concluded a peace with King Indra. And after that, Prithu Maharaj took his bath and with a customary, which is customary taken after the performance yajna, and received the benedictions and blessings from demigods and who are very pleased with him because he did like that. And then he offered all kinds of rewards to the Brahmanas because, and very much satisfied, they gave him heartfelt blessings. And then he says that by all the great sages and Brahmanas, O mighty king, by your invitation, all classes of living entities have attended this assembly. They have come from Pitraloka and heavenly planets, and great sages as well as common men have attended this meeting. Now all of them very much satisfied by your dealings and your charity towards them. So, and then we will just. So here we see that we'll go for the next chapter. So here Maitreya Vacha Bhagavan Vaikunta Shakam Navatan Vibhu Yajnir Yajnapatis Tushto Yajnapuktam Abhyasata. He says that, my dear great sage Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidra, being very much satisfied with the performance of 99 heart sacrifices, Supreme Lord All Vishnu appeared on the scene. Accompanying him was King Indra, Lord Vishnu, and began to speak. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Yeshate Kashrid Bhagavan Bhagnam Hayameda Satasyaha Kshamapayat Atmanam Amushyaka Kaustum Arhasi. He says that, my dear King Pitu, Indra the king of heaven was disturbed by your execution of 100 sacrifice. Now he has come with me to be forgiven by you, therefore excuse him. Now, interestingly, Indra still didn't want him to perform 100 sacrifice. He's coming here for asking forgiveness, but he's not, he didn't want even now also that Prithu performs that 100 sacrifice. So he's attached to his own, so this is the condition don't change. So even for us also, we should know that we may have some problems. We are sorry for it, but we cannot overcome immediately. It takes time for us also. And I know I have a conditioning, and I know I have to come out of it. I feel sorry for it, but I cannot do it immediately. And we may say, Arey, I am asking the Lord that help me come out of it. Why Lord is not doing? We may ask this question. I want to get liberated. I want to work out of it. Lord is seeing that we are really serious about it. Then He is ready to give. See, something if we get very easily, na, we don't value only. If we have worked very hard, then if we get, then we also feel very satisfied. Yes, I worked hard and I got. If you get, okay, tomorrow you all get liberation, will not be happy. Even if we get spiritual world also, we may that the or at least we get what you say very high stage. We may feel, oh, it's so simple, just have to ask once and you got it. So of course, if we get spiritual world, we'll be very happy. But even if we get little something little better, we may not value it. Immediately we take it for granted. So all our anarthas are gone, and one two are remaining. We may feel no. If we work very hard and then we achieve, then that pleasure is different. So we should be happy for doing sadhana also. Yes, let me struggle and get it. So that should be the spirit. So here, Indra is sorry for it, but he still don't want that Prithu. He can come and say, okay, okay, I'm sorry, you can do it now. Prithu Maharaj could have done, na? So not a problem for him. He can again organize. But it didn't happen like that. So this is the problem, even with us also. I know I am wrong, but I cannot overcome it. Right? So this is our condition. So Prabhupada is writing that in this verse, the Atmanam is very significant. It is a custom among yogis and jnanis to address one another, or even an ordinary man, as oneself, for a transcendentalist never accept a living being to be the body. Since the individual self is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, the self and the Supreme Self are qualitatively non-different. As the next verse will explain, the body is only a superficial covering, and consequently an advanced transcendentalist will not make a distinction between oneself and another. We see here everybody is coming and instructing Prithu Maharaj only, even though he's a good boy, he's a right person, but still they are telling you correct. It looks unfair, right? If somebody is wrong, we expect that no, he does. But in this case, it happens also in family. If elder brother is there, younger brother is there. Even the younger, both are fighting, and the mistake is of younger brother. But everybody will give instructions to elder only. He say, "You are elder, you adjust." He will say, "No, he want my toy also. He want his toy also." And mother will say, "No problem, give it." Why? Because he can understand. That's the thing. He can understand, and he is mature. We may feel it's unfair, right? If we are listening to our superiors and I'm deprived of certain things. No, no, no. Actually, we don't lose. What we gain is we gain the mental strength, which is very important for us to be happy in life. If I am ready to obey the order of my superiors, I am gaining that strength within my mind, and I am getting that peace of mind, because in this world, nothing happens according to our will only. It's all somebody else's will. So when you learn to accept authority, then we are ready to accept the will of Lord, which are the things in this world are happening according to the will of Lord. Please try to understand this formula. It's a very nice, important thing to understand that. See, if I am accepting authority, so authority accepting means things are not according to our plan. It is according to the superior's plan, right? That means that is what is accepting authority. Whatever they tell you are doing. So now what happens is in this creation, it is always somebody else's desire that is happening. And ultimately it is Krishna's desire only it is happening. So I may be feeling okay, how should be like this, wife should be like this, husband should be like this, children should be like this. But it is not according to our desire. Then whose desire? Krishna's desire only. And I already have an habit of accepting superior's desire. So when Krishna is desiring in our life, wife, children, husband, house, job and all, we'll accept that also. That makes us our life peaceful. Not that, okay, I don't accept any authority. Will it make any difference? No difference, because anyway it is going to happen according to Krishna's will only. So even if I am not willing to do according to Krishna's desire, according to my superior's desire, still things won't happen the way I want. If I never listen to any authority, so then my wife, my children, my job, my husband, my things, that is also still in our not in our hand. You understand? Because because I don't accept any authority, I will decide. No, you cannot decide. Krishna only decides. So if somebody accepted, and when death comes, we'll accept that authority. We'll accept that also with proper no, dignity. Say, okay, Krishna, if that is your will, whole life I accepted your desire, and this desire also I'll accept. So we'll not very much lament and panicky and so much suffer, because we accept it. And this is actually, we can see also in Prabhupada's case. He tried to get cured in the last part of his life, but when he understood he's not getting cured, he said, okay, Krishna, if this is your plan, I'm okay with it. So he was very peaceful. So the point is that because they are accepting the will of higher authority, so it always becomes easy for them. So when death comes also, we can accept the higher authority. So that is the point. So anybody accepting authority, he will always be happy. We see the Pandavas, they four brothers are always listening to Yudhishthir Maharaj. They means it is too much, he is gambling and he is losing everything, and I have to follow him. And whole life they are following whatever his elder brother is doing. And so many times not so many times, few times he did mistake also. But they just followed him. They said, okay, he is doing, we have to do it. Same thing with Bharata, Lakshman, and they are following whatever Ram is doing. And I say, Arey, Lakshman, why you have to go to forest? You enjoy na. And why Bharata has to stay in Nandagram? He can also enjoy na. Ram is not there. 14 years, enjoy. No, they said, no, no, we will not do it. Because they understand this is how you can be happy in life. Like, no, Ravindranath Tagore says, even though it is outside, it is like, he says that life is meant to be happy. And then when he woke up in the night, then he understood the night. In the morning, he understood that no, life is meant to serve. And when I started serving, then I understood that happiness is in serving. So this is actually true. We have to understand that our happiness is not in just sense level of pleasure. This is just this is the Swadhisthana chakra. This is the second lowest chakra. One is like Mooladhara chakra, Swadhisthana chakra. They are the lower level of consciousness. They are below the navel only. All this both the chakras. That means the consciousness is stuck there only. But the consciousness growing higher and higher. When you have, Manipura chakra is like workaholic, but then you have Adhisthana chakra and Vishuddha chakra. So, so then there your consciousness is in a very higher level, at the level of dharma. I just have to follow the higher authorities and accept their will. That gives a different level of happiness, and that makes. And Ishopanishad says that in that way you can live hundreds of years happily in the material world, because the level of happiness is different. That's the reason we were discussing that why Ramayana is still discussed even after millions of years, after millenniums of also, Ramayana is still fresh. You can take movie now also, and you can make money, you can make a drama, you can make a serial. Still people will watch. In Corona time, they played whole Ramayana again. People are ready to watch. Why? Because that depth is there, Mahabharata and Ramayana. Why? People followed dharma to that extent. They were never thinking of their own personal sense gratification. And that's the reason you can hear that stories again and again. So here also we see that Prithu Maharaj is given all the instructions and Prithu is ready to follow. And that's why his story is there in Bhagavatam because he is ready to give up. Is having that quality of surrender. He did 99 sacrifices and Brahma is telling stop. He said okay. And then Lord is coming with Indra and Lord is telling okay, Indra is forgiving, so forgive. Then Prithu Maharaj says okay, if he is okay, then I'll do one more yajna. No, he is not doing it and he understands it. So instructions are given to good people, but it does not mean that they are in loss. They are actually gaining something very high, much more. It looks apparently in a material level, Array Indra won and no Prithu lost. And being good, what is the use of being a good person? You are in loss only. Prithu could not make it 100 and Indra is enjoying. He is in the heaven. And Prithu Maharaj has to be in earth only. He could not reach heaven. If he would have done 100, he would have become Indra. No, there is when we see material, even materially also, no, at a lower level it is a loss, but a higher level it is a gain because the mind is very peaceful. So ultimately, say if I have all the pleasures at my disposal, I have a very luxurious house, car, facilities and all, mind isn't full of anxiety. Can I be able to enjoy? No. I need a peaceful mind to be happy in this world. Ashantasya kutas sukham. That's what Krishna says. So without peace, there cannot be happiness. So peace of mind comes when mind is calm. How it is calm? When it is following authority. Then mind is very calm. If I am not following, mind is agitated. So now for Indra it is so much agitated because he is. So that's why people say live according to dharma. Follow dharma, rakshati rakshita. Why follow dharma? Dharma, so we were discussing the protection of the king. The king, what he should do, he should make sure that all his citizens are following dharma. Why he want them to follow dharma? Because ultimately he want to give protection to their mind, not just the body. Bodily protection he can give. He can make sure that they are getting nice food, no miscreants are there in the society, no invaders are coming to the country. So he is giving one level of protection to the uh, citizen, but mental level protection, mind also need to be protected, and that is protected when they follow dharma. That means what? Mind is very peaceful. Peaceful mind means happy people. Now people are so much agitated, so much disturbed, their minds are not at all peaceful. And that is the outcome, all these wars and all this crime and everything is basically the agitated mind of people. They are so unhappy, they take a gun and just go out and shoot whoever they are seeing. All the shootouts which are happening very frequently nowadays in the Western world is this is the main reason because people are so unhappy, their minds are so agitated. So that's the main thing. They are not able to understand. So dharma means living in harmony. So here the advice is given to Prithu, but Krita is going to get benefited only. He's not in loss. It looks a little setback, but ultimately he's going to gain because he's going to get something higher. In this case, he's directly pleasing the Supreme Lord, which is much more biggest achievement in life. And Lord Vishnu, O King, one who is advanced in intelligence, eager to perform welfare activities for others, is considered best among human beings. An advanced human being is never malicious to others. Those with advanced intelligence are always conscious that this material body is different from the soul. So this is also a very important thing. See, what is intelligence? The intelligent person is eager to perform welfare for all. So, and considered best among human beings. So they are just not selfish, they are ready to help others. So first is they are performing welfare for others and they are not malicious. And those who advance intelligence are also conscious that this material world different from the soul. So three levels. One level of intelligence, buddhi, is that uh, sudhiya. So sudhiya is intelligent. So he performs sadhava. He is very inclined to perform welfare for others. And then he is na abhiduryanti. He never becomes malicious and towards other living entities. And then most important things, atma kalevaram. So he is able to understand the difference between material body and spirit soul. Prabhupada writes, in daily life we find that when a madman commits murder, he is excused even by high court judge. The idea is that a living entity is always pure because he is part and parcel of Supreme Lord. When he falls into the clutches of material energy, he becomes a victim of three modes of material nature. Indeed, whatever he does under the influence of material nature. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभु न कर्मफल संयोग स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. So the embodied spirit, master of the city of this body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted with the modes of mental nature. So this is actually the jnana understanding. So because he has this understanding, even if he performs an activity, there is no reaction. So for a jnani, no reaction because he is very clearly understands this concept. For us, if you perform an action, we have a reaction for it because we don't have this realization. If we realize this, we can theoretically say that no, oh, na kartatvam na karmani, but realization is important. Actually, the living entity or soul does not do anything. Everything is done under the influence of modes of mental nature. When a man is diseased, the symptoms of disease become the source of all kinds of pain. Those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness or Krishna conscious are never envious, neither of the soul nor of the activities of the soul under the influence of mental nature. Advanced transcendentalists are called Sudhiyaha. Sudhi means intelligence, Dhi means highly advanced, and Sudhi means devotee. One who is both devoted and highly advanced in intelligence does not take action against the soul or the body. If there is any discrepancy, he forgives. It is said that forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. पुरुषा यदि मुह्यन्ति त्वादृशा देवमायया शरमायेव परं जातो धीर्गया वृद्धसेवया. If a personality like you, who are so much advanced because of executing the instructions of the previous acharyas, is carried away by the influence of material energy, then all your advancement may be considered simply waste of time. See, actually, this is also very important. We should follow the instructions of previous acharyas. Like Bhishma Dev, he is glorifying Yudhishthira, not glorifying. Actually, he is actually asking, Are, Vipra Dharma Achyutasya, Aho Kashtam, Aho Nyayam, Yadhyuyam Dharmanandana. How come so much, Kashtam and Anyayam happened to you? You are Dharmanandana, not as Dharmanandana. You have taken Vipra Dharma Achyuta Ashraya. You have taken the shelter of Vipras, you have taken shelter of Dharma and even Achyuta, Lord Krishna himself. But still you have to go through so much. So the point here is that following Vipra, Dharma and instructions of Supreme Lord is the way of living. And here also Lord is telling, this is the way of living. We are so much advanced, who are so much advanced because of executing the instructions of previous. This is the way we should live our life. Every moment of our life should be an instructions from the acharyas or the guided by it. What should I do now? According to dharma. Yes, follow dharma. That's why previous ages we always, the people who are very careful, particular about this rule, that rule, they're not fanatics. They're actually knowing the way of living, and then in that way. Like we say, oh, why should be very chaste? What is this? Wife is not given any freedom. She just lives for the initially for whatever father says she should follow. Later on, for the husband's sake, she is doing, and later on, she is under the sun and she is protection of a son. Why she is not given independence and all? This actually helps her mind only. Ultimately, she will be elevated in her consciousness and she will be very happy. It is not any exploitation. It is just a protection of mind. We, we may give freedom for the body, but mind is going to get troubled. Na? That is the problem. We may say, okay, you give freedom. Freedom for what? You do whatever you want. No, no, you have freedom. At a body, but freedom is more freedom is needed. Real freedom actually is when the mind is free from conditioning. Mind feels secure, mind feels protected. That is actually where, for women, that is very much needed. Of course, now the systems have changed, and I'm not telling we should follow. I'm just telling how why the principle is like that. We may say, "Arey, the woman didn't come out of the house only." No, she's very happy inside the house because mind is very secure. That is the point. They say, oh, they don't come in public here, there, like in the traditional villages, north, not in south. The woman should cover her face and head. They say it is suppression of women. It is not suppression of women. No, it is a protection of women. Of course, now I am not recommending that, but what I am telling is they were never in laws like that. We should not feel like now people, some of the women, they feel that, you know, that they are suppressed and they were. See, that was also there. I am not denying that there was suppression and other things, but the main thing, the rules were meant to protect. So here also, following authority, higher things, Manu Samhita and all, people they burn Manu Samhita nowadays. They say this is bogus. No, it is higher authority. So then what Lord is telling, if you don't do, what happens? Then all your advancement will be considered simply waste of time. So Prabhupada is telling, Vriddha Sevaya is very significant. Vriddha means what? Sevaya means by service. Perfect knowledge is acquired from the acharyas or liberated. So no one can be perfect in knowledge without being trained by the parampara system. Prithu Maharaj was completely trained in that line. Therefore, he did not deserve to be considered an ordinary man who has only a conception of bodily exercise is always bewildered by the modes of material nature. अतकायम् इमं विद्वान् अविद्या कामकर्मभिः आरब्धा इति नैवासं नैवास्मिन् प्रतिबुद्धो अनुसज्जते. Those who are in full knowledge of the bodily conception of life, who knows that this body is composed of nescience, desires and activities, results from illusion, do not become addicted to the body. So he is telling in the first instruction he told, see, show compassion and no, don't be malicious, and more important is don't consider yourself body. Second instruction, second next shloka, the previous shloka is telling, okay, you follow the authority of acharyas, otherwise all your spiritual advancement is waste. Now he is telling that who are in full knowledge of bodily concept of life, that means dehatma buddhi, he understand about the body, how the body is there. He knows how the body is composed of nescience, it is composed of desires, it is and activities resulting from illusion. So this is how our body is. If you can understand these things, you will not be addicted to the body. So the purpose of performing 100 sacrifices is also, according to Supreme Lord, is also a bodily conception of life, because I considered this as my success. But what is your success? Your spirit soul only. My is here, you are identifying, oh, I am this in the body of a king and I am going to do 100 sacrifices. That means it's a false ego, it's a false understanding. That is the point. So is not, he's trying to make us understand that if even if I am attached, oh, why I am not getting a big house, good family, good this, good that, and no good health, good education, good body, handsome, this, that, good name. All these things are a bodily conception only. That's what it is to. We may not be addicted to heavenly pleasure, but definitely we are will be addicted to something in this material world. That's why we are here. So composed of nuisance, desires, and activities results from illusion. And Prabhupada is telling that, as stated in previous verses, those with good intelligence, Sudhiya, do not accept themselves to be body. Right? So three things are therein. Being a creation of nuisance, the body has two types of activities. In the bodily concept, when we think that sense gratification will help us, we are in illusion. And another kind of illusion is to think that one will become happy by trying to satisfy the desires that arise from the illusory body or by attaining elevation to the higher planetary systems by performing various kinds of Vedic rituals. So this is another way of becoming happy. This is also illusory happiness. Similarly, material activities performed for political emancipation and social and humanitarian activities performed with an idea that people of this world will be happy are also illusory because the basic principle is a bodily conception. You see, this is all illusory only. Bodily conception here in the sense, oh, he's selflessly serving society as a politician, as a social and humanitarian activities. But it is still I is the center. It's the illusion only. You keep Krishna as the center and start doing it, then the whole formula is different. Whatever we desire to perform under the bodily conception is an illusion. In other words, Lord Vishnu informed Prithu Maharaj that although the sacrificial performance set an example for ordinary people, there was no need for such sacrificial performance as far as his personal self was concerned. त्रैगुण्य विषयावेद निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निद्वंदो नित्यसत्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेमात्मवान्. So we have to go beyond this Vedic literature, whatever they are telling. So that's why next here this here only where Krishna is telling Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham Prabhavanti Pishyata. He is telling don't be baffled by the advertisements which are given in the Vedas about heavenly planets and all. No, no, no. Just go beyond the Vedas. Don't take these things very seriously. So here also for us, like now the children, an average child of 3 years, he is watching mobile few hours in a day. Now what will happen to him? His psyche is completely unprotected, is completely destroyed, and because of which he is filled with desires from the age of 3, and he lives to make his dreams fulfilled, all his desires achieved. That is the reason he works the rest of his life. That's all. So can you imagine what a great catastrophe that happened to that? And people are they're saying, okay, what can be done? So these advertisements are causing problem. Even in the bygone ages also, previous millenniums also, that the same problem. But that time advertisements were through the Vedas, and now the advertisements are the internet and digital mm, media and everything. So the ritualistic performances recommended in the Vedas mainly depend on the three modes of material. Consequently, Arjuna was advised to transcend Vedic activities. So I told this is the theme of whole fourth canto, to transcend the Vedic way of life and to practice pure bhakti. Okay, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.